Hello. Aha, my microphone had not connected. I guess it's been a little while since I did a live stream. Noodles might be joining me later. So we have pretty much a description of this project in the... Oh, you guys can hear me, right? Because it's slightly before the stream is set to start, so I don't know whether it's actually streaming to you yet. It's supposed to start at 11, but I think I can see the stream. I'm alive. Okay, that sounds pretty promising then. Okay, yes, good. Okay, so, yes. I have been wanting to do a game jam for years, partly because I am fed up with kind of coding games in Minecraft, which is my job now, and there's a lot, not fed up, but like there's no, it has very specific limitations, and I've been wanting to do a game for a while in something else, and but I never really had the motivation, I guess, because I spend all day doing games anyway. So I saw the game jam, and it was a 3-week game jam, which actually seemed to suit me quite well, because it means I have 3 weeks to put something out instead of like a 72-hour one. And so yeah, I saw this game jam being tweeted out from the Microsoft MakeCode engine. This is also in the description of the video, but so the theme was traffic, and you had to make something related to traffic, and I was kind of throwing some ideas back and forth with Noodles, who wanted to do some music for it and some graphics, and we came up with the concept that we liked the idea of playing with a little bit. I like the idea with the game jam that you have 3 weeks to put something out, so you have a deadline, so you can kind of make sure that you're actually getting some work done, but there's no real consequences to not finishing the game or having something kind of half done by the end. So the game jam wanted me to use their specific engine, and I had a look at it, and from my perspective it was like Scratch, MIT's Scratch, but worse, or like the next level for programmers, but it's designed for like people starting programming. And I decided that it wasn't worth the time learning the engine, because it wasn't an engine that I could use in the future. Like if it had been like specified to be Unreal Engine or Godot or Unity, then absolutely I would have used the engine. But in this case, because one of the programming languages allowed that you can use in their engine was JavaScript, I was like, you know what? Also, you submit the games for this competition on itch.io. I was like, I'll just make it a web application in JavaScript, save myself time learning the engine, and keep the limitations. So there's a 16 color limit. Noodles has gone for a 2-color palette, and we'll see whether we can keep those 2 colors or have to extend further. But that's kind of the limit there. And then it's a 120 by 160 screen, I think, that we have. So it's quite a small image. So yeah, this is the Civil engine, and basically what we're planning to do is kind of a life sim style game. So the concept I had, and I'm just going to click here to go past the splash screen, is you have people, which are represented as dots on the screen, and each person is like an object that has goals and like stats. So they need to sleep, they need to eat, and they need money to afford food. So there's going to be there's the home where they can sleep, there's the factories, which you can see at the top here, which is where they work, and then there will be like convenience stores where they can buy food, and maybe hospitals if they get sick. And it's going to be kind of a bit of a rush for them. So if they don't get to work on time, they get fired. And if they don't have time to buy food and sleep, they will lose one or the other, because there's only like a certain amount of time where they can sleep. But for now, what we have is the buildings, and I've been coding the road system. So you can click to draw a road. If the road is too short like this, it'll just vanish when you try and draw it. But if you can draw a road like this, there's a slight bug with the first road that you draw at the moment, where it immediately tries to make you draw a second road. But Oh, hey Noodles, he might jump in voice later, but he's still waking up. That's fair. So you can draw your roads, and if you click on a building, it snaps. Or if you click on the end of a road, it also snaps to the end of the road. So I've made a nice snapping system that I'm fairly happy with that helps like connecting the roads up. And if you try and draw a road in an invalid location, like through a building, it does this nice little dash icon. So I've had a bit of fun so far with this, like the maths required to detect if the road is valid or not. Also, if you tap D, it's debug mode, and you can see like the edges of like all of the nodes that the roads are made of, and it'll make a nice red color if the road is not valid. But yeah, so the idea is that I put a Control Z in because I kept trying to do it and realized that I probably should just add it. But yeah, so you can connect roads up, and the goal is kind of to manage your road system in a way where your people can get to all the things they need to within the time that they have. So it's gonna be a very busy life for them. They're not going to be particularly the quality of life isn't going to be great for them. But we're thinking of having it kind of. I don't know how many of you have played Little. Is it called Little Metro or Tiny Metro? Noodles was showing it to me earlier. So as the factories get workers, the earnings of your town will increase, and new factories and new buildings will just pop up on your screen. Also, I'm planning to make this so that you can scroll around a little bit, and we'll make it, the whole game will be like a 3x3 of this size of space, so there's a bit more room, because we have each of these is a pixel, and there are no subpixels. And so eventually, hopefully, there's going to be bottlenecking. So if there's too many people trying to use this road, it's going to slow them down. Mini Metro, thank you, says Noodles. But at the moment, what Noodles says Mini Metro, Supper Jerry says Mini Metropm. I think it was the one Noodles said. So I'm writing this in Visual Studio Code. The cool thing with this tool, not only does it have really good syntax checking for JavaScript and HTML, but it has this go live feature where the moment I save this file, it refreshes this page for me, so that I have to keep going around refreshing everything. So I've been using Visual Studio Code recently because I used to use Atom a lot, and I'm quite happy with the Go Live feature for web development stuff. So just a few things to look at here. We have this roads array, which will be an array of objects, and this gets added to. In fact, let me quickly open up the console on this view so we can actually see when we're printing stuff out like that. And there's some stuff going on already. So for one thing, I can change this scene from the start scene from splash to game, so we don't have to view the splash screen every time we refresh. But yeah, the buildings is a list of buildings. They have properties like the type of building they are, which determines the texturing, the texture selection, and their coordinates. And also, the node is this little dot. That's where the road can connect to. So they have that information. The roads have a start X and Y and an end X and Y, and that's basically it. And the images are loaded in from the images folder. Pretty standard stuff. Interestingly, I've actually been referencing, I don't know how many of you remember me live streaming making a side-scrolling game in JavaScript Canvas years ago. I've actually, some of the collision detection code I actually borrowed from that. So it's kind of nice that old project came in handy here. So we've got some interesting stuff though. When you draw a line, when the mouse goes down, it adds a new road object to the roads list. You can see I think it's on mouse up down here. On mouse up, yeah. So when you release the mouse, if you're in the middle of drawing a road, it will add this new roads array. And something I've realized is, so there's this, I've written this function called clean roads, and its job is basically, there's several situations where you could have roads that that overlap, or you don't really want them, because once we have these roads drawn, right, we have all of these nodes that appear on the screen. You can see that bug I was talking about earlier. You have all these roads on the screen, and if I just press D a second, you can see these red dots are the nodes on the road. So we're going to have to use some pathfinding, and actually we're going to have to look at some different like pathfinding algorithms that exist. Blue, I was talking to Blue about these actually, and he was suggesting an algorithm called I'm scrolling up through our conversation. It's oh no, Dijkstra's algorithm. I'm going to Google it later, but basically they're going to look at all of the points that connect these roads and work out what the shortest route from where they are to where they want to go is. I might have a go at coding my own, but I'm probably going to have a look at some of the algorithms that exist. But what we don't want is loads of nodes that don't do anything. So for example, if I draw a new road here, firstly, like you notice that why is that red? Oh, it's because we're in debug mode, I guess. First, you'll notice that it automatically tries to draw 2 roads. This is kind of just to help you turn corners. I might change this later, but at the moment it draws 2 roads. So if I draw a road from here to here, we have 2 things. First of all, we have 2 roads that are identical in length from here to here. And then that second one that goes up and down will basically have a length of 0 because it's snapping to the same point. So you can see down here, we're doing some tidying. That's the clean roads thing. And first of all, it deletes the 0 width road because there's no point having a road that goes from the same point to the same point. And secondly, and there's a slight bug at the moment, if it detects 2 roads that are identical in length, it deletes one of them. Now you'll see it hasn't actually printed that in chat. If I draw a new road, it now... Wait. Does it not print that anymore? There's a slight bug at the moment where it doesn't clean up the road until the next road you place. But basically all it does is it compares all of the roads to the currently drawn road, and if it finds that they're the same, it will delete it. So up here we've got the can you guys read this okay? Do you want me to zoom in? I can I can maybe increase the font size or not. Control and Alt scroll don't seem to do that in do I have to? I don't know. If you guys want it a little bigger, then I can zoom in. So first of all, it just looks for every road. It checks if the from and to coordinates are identical, and if it does, it deletes it. And then the second thing it does is it compares roads to see if there are any that are identical in start and end. But here's an interesting thing. If I draw this road and I draw this road, these 2 roads, imagine they were on top of each other, are identical, but this one starts here and ends here. This one starts here and ends here, and this one starts here and ends here. So they're technically like not the same. Control scroll? No, it just scrolls up if I do that. Like most editors, it does work. And Alt scroll doesn't work either. Thinking emoji. Did I just speak in emoji? I'm so sorry. That was really bad. Why is there like a 2-line space here in the console? Anyway, so these are not identical, and the way I fixed this initially was when I compared the 2 roads to see if they're identical, I look at the max of the max x coordinate of both roads and the max y coordinate of each road, and then the min. So it's math.min will just return the larger or the smaller of the 2. So that way it kind of rearranges them as if they were identical. But I've just realized that if I need to do a lot of road comparisons, I'm going to have to do this every single time. So what would be a better idea is if when I create the roads on mouse up here, I do this once. Hey Lee Spork, welcome to the stream. So that way we can state that roads always run from their smallest coordinate to their largest coordinate or something, and then we don't have to do this min-max check every single time. So I think I might change that. Also, I did a really stupid thing where the line start is an object with the property of x and y, and then I have 2 separate variables for the end called line end x and line end y. which is kind of stupid. Like, it works, but it's a little bit weird that I did it 2 different ways. I should probably fix that. But that's some road cleanup. But what I want to do today is something new, which is, if you, like, obviously once you draw your roads, you want the NPCs to be able to travel along them. And what the NPCs will actually be doing is working out which points, like which order of nodes they need to reach the road. So if you do this, what we need to do is actually notice that these roads are crossing, because at the moment you can see the red dots are nodes. It doesn't actually know that an NPC could go from here to here, because it doesn't know that, like, at the moment this road basically goes over the other one. So we need to notice when this happens, and then actually split both this road at every intersection and the road that it crosses, so that they start to share nodes. I think what I might quickly do before that, though, it's a game jam. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is true, yeah. I'm just worried that we're going to have to min-max check everything, and it's actually going to make my code more likely to break. But I think it's going to be a pretty quick fix, actually. I just go math dot. So we're going to say it's always going to go from the smallest coordinate, so math dot min line start x or line end x to math dot min line start y. Oh, hang on though, because this might mess the coordinates up, because it's not keeping them grouped. We'd have to work out, like, which one is smaller in physical space. You got a notification that I'm live 16 minutes after I started. Like, we'd have to do this, we actually have to group the coordinates first. We have to work out, of these coordinates and these coordinates, which are the smallest, I guess. I feel like there'd be a case where the coordinates would get split. Okay, let's maybe not think about that for now, I guess. Or we'll see if we need to do it yet. But we're looking at this, I'm calling it bifurcating, which is just to split, I believe. I've called the function bifurcate. I'm not sure if that's exactly the correct idea. But so this function runs when you draw a road. It actually runs twice, because at the moment, every time you draw a road, you actually draw 2 roads. Clean roads is happening after we bifurcate. It's 720p, so making the font a bit larger could be nice. I could probably stream in 1080p these days, actually. How do I up the font size? Appearance? Probably under, like, settings or something. Preferences, settings. Text editor. Anything on font size? It had zoom at the bottom of the appearance tab you're in. Gear at the bottom. Oh, here. Oh, I see. That's, yeah, okay, you're telling me where to get to the settings, but you're saying there was a zoom option at the bottom? Control plus. Let's try Control plus. There we go. Okay. So technically, because we're cleaning the roads after we add them, we are technically bifurcating potentially a zero width road or a duplicate road. Don't know if that's an issue, but so in this game, so our ID is the road ID of the road that was just drawn by the way. In this game, roads can either run this way, straight across, or straight up. There are no diagonal roads. So when we do have a property for roads, I can draw out the roads array for you here. And one of the properties of the road is the direction. So if they are moving across, they have a direction of 0, and if they are moving up and down, they have a direction of 1. So it feels to me that if the road we have just drawn has a direction of 0, we only have to check the roads that have a direction of 1, because parallel lines never touch, right? Obviously, if they're on top of each other, one of them will be deleted by the road cleanup system anyway. So I guess the first thing to do is... actually, you know what? Right now... we're doing bifurcate road ID. We could, instead of passing it the ID, I think because we want to get the direction as well, we should pass it the entire object. And since we're pushing it, it should be at the end of the array. So let's pass it roads.length -1. Because it's 0 width. So if there's 5 elements, the length is... oh, hi Zaclav. She's calling my code Greek poetry. So yeah, roads.length -1. So that'll give us the last array that we just added, and we can do the same when we add the second road. So that way we'll actually have the direction as well. So road ID is actually just now road. Okay, so we know that if the road has a direction of 0, we only want to check roads with the direction of 1. So first of all, we can say if roads I dot direction is not equal to our current road direction. Can we generalize this? I was almost going to do like 2 separate loops. One if the road is 0, one if the road is 1. But a lot of that code is probably going to be copied. On the other hand, it's a game jam, and maybe we should just not worry about making the code super clean. Direction equals 0. Okay, well, if the direction is not equal to road direction, then we know that it's not a parallel road. And then, so we're going to loop through all of the roads that aren't parallel, and we have to check if they're crossing. So, crossing kind of counts like collision, right? We already have is touching as a property, so we might be able to reuse this. Are we trying to find where 2 lines intersect, says Leesbook? I wonder if there's an algorithm on Wikipedia we could borrow. There probably... If somebody hasn't written and shared an algorithm for finding the point where 2 lines intersect, then I will eat my hat. That is a good point. Maybe we should go looking for that. But it's probably going to be a maths formula, which means I have to turn it into code. Find intersecting point of 2 lines. Let's just stick JavaScript at the start of that as well. Stack Overflow, you are my favorite overflow of all. And my favorite stack. Actually, no, pancakes. Pancakes overtake that. So this is the question where somebody's failing to do it, and then we have the answer. Holy shit. This is probably more complicated than it needs to be because we don't have slopes. Like, we only have 2 directions of road. Window.linear? What the... This looks more reasonable. Line intersection. So we give it the start x and y, end x and y of the first line, and then the start and end of the second line, I guess. And then it does a lot of stuff. It's declaring... three variables at once, which I don't generally do. I assume that's setting all 3 variables to this same value. If this calculation here returns zero, then they don't intersect, I guess. So if they don't have an intersect point, we get null as a response. Let's try this. This is definitely faster than me trying to figure it out myself. Yeah, as LeeSpork says, if there are no diagonal lines, it should be easier. I think just from the visuals of this game, diagonal lines would look kind of janky. And I think because it's kind of a little bit grid-based. Well, Crothers, you could DM it to me on Discord, I guess. But we have a nice function here as well. So, oh dear, line intersect. Oh, they put their brackets on the next line. Don't you have to take the y coordinate of one line and the x coordinate of another line if that coordinate is on both of the lines that intersect? That'll tell us if they intersect, but will it tell us where they intersect? I'm going to call this function and just see what we get. We'll draw 2 intersecting roads and get it to print. If roads I... Oh, hang on. What's the function called? Line intersect. If line intersect roads I.x, roads I.y, r.x, r.y. That's 4 coordinates. Not equals null. Console.log. Oh. Let's not do that calculation twice. Every point on a horizontal line has the same y coordinate. This is true. Oh, so we don't have to... Yes. Let's see what this gives us. So we're going to draw one line, and then we're going to draw another line that definitely intersects it. Oh, this looks like the object it's returning, and we're getting not a number. Have I forgotten the... It is x and y, right? Oh, that's right. It's from x from y Then it's roads I2 x, roads I2 y, r dot from x, r dot from y, r dot to x, r dot to y. Have I had an extra bracket there? There we go. So 122, 70. I don't know what seg1 and seg2 are. Because one of them is... Why is it printing twice? Are there two roads that overlap? I guess it's going through... Oh, it's going through every single road, and that includes the road that we just drew. Oh, no, it wouldn't, because we're only checking roads that have the opposite direction. It's printing 3 different roads? Oh, I see. So, wait. Why intersect? What equals null? I guess true, true, false, false, true, true. We have 2 intersecting roads, but there's only... I guess it's running it once for this road and then once for that road, because these 2 coordinates are the same, but one of them is true and the other one's false. And then this one here is also true, but is a different coordinate. Is it counting roads that touch, that share a point as intersecting, I wonder? Because there are 3 points here. There's here, here, and here. Interesting. Let's draw the mouse coordinates to the screen for a second. Where's our loop? G.draw text, I think it's called. Nope, it's not draw text. Fill text? Probably fill text then. And I need to set the color. That is not printing. To Google. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm printing any text. I was a while ago, but I got rid of it because Noodle gave me images. Sorry, what are people saying? Random idea. Depending on how the white lines objects are drawn, what if they could be colored based on neutral good bad conditions, like a status indicator, good equals green, bad equals red, etc. But then you lose the 2-color palette that you're going for. Yeah, I mean, I'm not married to the 2-color palette. That is for Noodles to decide. Oh, Crothers did send me his link as well. Sorry. So this is... Yeah, see, this is a mathematical formula, not a programming formula. But it's probably quite similar to what we have. What we have is working. We need to exclude roads that touch, though, not cross, is the problem. I think it actually it should give me the syntax here. Yeah. Oh, it's the text first. That's why. Test. Okay, so okay. So we can have a quick look at those intersects here. So yeah, we've got 9951. Is it drawing it off the screen? Oh, it's because the text line is centered. Right, let me just print it at 160, so 50, I guess, will be roughly in the center. Good enough. Uh, 9746 is this one. No, this one. 9746. Yeah, okay, so that's why there's the 3. 117. 63. Well, that's not right. 117.63 is here. But that one has seg1 and seg2 as false. Then 117 and 46 is this one. Huh? So it's giving me this point, and this point. This one is returning false, but this one's not showing up at all. Perhaps because one of them is the road that we just drew. Let me just do this and see if we now get 4 prints. Oh, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. 97. So we get 2 97s now. No, we don't. We get 97, 105. This is weird. $9,705 is here. That's not any point. It does return false, but why is it even like listing those coordinates? We have 1 double true and 2 true falses, and then two double falses. 91, 93. Uh, 91, 93 is this point. That's giving us a true and a false. Aha. Yeah, Gal is saying the function you're using is checking for an infinite length line. The points you give it just define the line, not the segment you need. So we need to... So yeah, it's assuming this line just goes on forever, basically. And I guess it's returning me the intersect point. Which line is intersecting with this line at this point, though? I guess this line? No, but there are no lines that intersect specifically there. Even if it was infinite length, wouldn't it like give me this coordinate here or something? 97, 105. Right here. I guess that's where this line and this line intersect? Bugger. Should we just write our own? Can we logic it out? Line 16. That's a good suggestion, Crothers. I'd have to save them as a variable though, because this refreshes at 30 frames a second. So it would only print it for one frame. But I think we should do that, but let's try making our own line intersect function, I guess. So we can keep that format. So if both segments are true, it intersects inside the roads. Okay. I guess we can use is touching to work out if they intersect in the first place. But we'd still have to actually calculate the intersect, so there's probably no point doing that. Although I guess any lines that are touching do intersect somewhere. If the new road's lowest x is less than the other road's y, and the new road's highest x is greater than the other road's y, then the intersection is the other road's x versus the new road's y. X of the vertical road and the y of the horizontal road. Yeah, it might be. The x of the vertical road and the y. Yeah, that's correct. However, actually no, I guess that's because we're looping through all the roads, because I'm thinking about like double intersects like this as well. Because this would bifurcate two roads at once, but I guess it's just going to loop through all the roads anyway. Okay, so let's make this two cases then. Bifurcate if road.direction equals 0, right, we're gonna cycle through all of the roads that have a direction of 1. Intersect equals... Oh, hey Blue. However, we do still need to check the roads actually touch, because otherwise we do this and we would consider these... What the... Oh, line intersect is not defined. Okay, but like this road here and this road here, if they're infinitely long, do intersect, but they don't actually touch. So I guess we can just use our is touching formula to first check whether they're touching, then work out the intersect by doing that calculation. So is touching Wait, where do I reference line intersect now? I thought I deleted that code. Oh, I guess it didn't refresh. Okay. Is touching. I probably didn't save, that's what it is. So is touching takes two objects with an X and a Y each. So X equals roads I dot wait. X. Oh, it's the width, the height. I think I already have an object test check for this. Yeah, here I've already. Oh, this is for the building check. Okay. If the direction is 0, that means it's running from left to right. So our X is in the return you had segment 1 and segment 2, which already told you if they're actually touching. Yeah, but it was full on giving us coordinates that didn't really relate, right? Roads dot from, so the X is the smaller of, this is why I wanted to order the roads, X dot roads from or not, oh, okay, sorry, yeah, X colon roads dot from or roads dot to followed by the Y is math.min. Oh no, this is going to give us a box. Oh, you know what? You know what? We're going to go from roads I dot to, that's the X, and the Y. Then the width is math dot absolute of roads I dot to roads I dot from minus, wait, the width, the X, yeah, minus roads I dot to X. So that's the absolute width. I've missed a bracket somewhere. Width. And the height is 1, I guess. So the absolute of the from and the to X just gives us the positive, like the difference between the two. So that should give us the width of the line. And then the second object is our road, which runs in the opposite direction. So X is R dot from 0, Y equals R dot 2, Oh, Noodles is ringing me apparently. I'm ringing you now. There you are, hello. Hello. Sure, you'll get a very, very wide view of my monitor, but yeah. Oh, apparently they can't hear you. But when you talk, the desktop audio slider in OBS peaks. Like, when Noodles speaks, I can actually show you this probably on the stream. Look here. Noodles, say something. See? Crother says I'm just talking to myself even more. But you're talking. Is this a new Discord feature where it's like stream mode? I've disabled stream mode. Can you guys hear him now? This is interesting. Because we definitely... is it because I'm screen sharing? we all know Noodles doesn't exist and Sparks just pretends he has a friend called Noodles. Whereas in reality, he's talking to a bowl of ramen. But I can hear him. Look at this. I mean, I can change the desktop audio device. Maybe I have other options. I can use my speakers as a desktop audio device. Okay, guys, I'm gonna click them, and then Noodles is gonna say something, and you tell me if you hear him at any point. Okay, so here's 226. It's applied now. Can you hear him? Here's my speakers. Applied, go. And here's SPDIF. Yeah. And here's default again, I guess. Let me know if you heard him at any point during that test. Zachlad thinks it's because she's here. That tracks, actually. Tech breaks around her. Apparently they didn't hear you for any of those things. Okay, you see if you can find anything out, I guess? Okay, Noodles is gonna look into OBS, apparently. Oh, Supper says they have a feeling they can hear you, but you're really quiet? You're, when it peaks, when you talk, it peaks the audio bar. What the? But what? Is there some kind of... Like, that's... This slider should be for mixing my desktop audio, so I don't understand how it would have a problem here. Oh, he's suggesting I play a desktop sound. Let me play some, like, Spotify music or something. There's some music. Oh yeah, maybe they can only hear you through my mic. But the fact is that the bar is peaking, so it should be sending audio to Discord. They say it's really quiet. I mean, I think this is the first time I've streamed with my new PC, so maybe there is some kind of desktop audio issue. I have done a recording in OBS, though, that picked up the desktop audio. This is very strange. Well, they couldn't hear the Spotify music either, so no. Oh, I keep forgetting they can only hear one half of this conversation. He was asking if the Discord audio was going through... Also, if this isn't happening when I record, we can't do like a non-live test of this. I mean, I could choose some different audio outputs, but edit advanced audio properties. Desktop audio volume percentage. I don't actually see that as an option here. Edit advanced audio properties. Aha. Desktop audio active. Volume 0 decibels. But my mic is also listed as 0 decibels, but they can hear me there. Should I try upping it to 10? I don't want to, like, smash people's faces. It's still showing you up on the OBS. It's like it's just not sending it to the stream because it is showing up on the mixer. And I think what I've done is... Yeah. Well, I've put it down to 0 again now. So yeah, it's just not streaming it. That can't be a YouTube issue because YouTube just gets everything mixed together, so... Big shrug. Make your first audio device second if you want to record with earphones. Make the second device your earphones, but earphones don't record audio. Well, that's a good suggestion, actually, Blue. I love how this has just turned into a debugging live stream. Great. Output. Output mode simple. Streaming encoder. Audio bit rate is 160. It's not also recording the stream. I could change the encoder. I might have to restart the stream to change that, though. There's no real audio thing here except the audio bitrate. How weird. Zach, I didn't apply Crothers' change because the desktop audio is showing Noodles' voice on the mixer. Like, OBS is definitely picking him up. The problem is in sending it through the stream, I guess. Noodles is making surprise noises. Here. There's advanced audio properties, and you can choose audio monitoring here. Monitor off, monitor only, or monitor and output. Can you hear him now? What's this set to? It's monitor off. Nope, they still can't hear you. What? Monitor only, mute output? No. Huh. I don't really know what... Crothers is saying to try his thing. Audio, set the desktop audio 2 to... I don't know which of these is my headphones. Probably this one. I guess we can see if people can hear you now.
Select your headset instead. Try setting the output device to your speakers or something. Did you already try that?
The output device?
Or whatever it is. Like, whatever's set to default.
Here's the 260 applied. Yeah, we tried that one earlier. We cycled through all of those. This is desktop audio 2. Oh, apparently they can hear you now. I set it to... What? But when I changed the first one to that value, nothing happened. But apparently desktop audio 2 fixed this. Oh, okay, it's not that one. I have to set it to this one. They lost you again.
One there. Okay, go down to the taskbar where your volume is,
down here.
see what the output device is for me. Like down on the taskbar, like the at the bottom of the screen, where volume would usually be for the entire computer, and just see speakers Realtek.
Yeah.
Is that what you've just set it? You have such a wide monitor now, which is really cool and gamer, but I now can't read a thing that's on this screen share. Hi everybody. Also,
yes, they can hear you now.
The everybody was being really intelligent, so I thought I'd come and bring the general IQ of the stream down.
Okay, if we ever have this problem again, ask me whether I'm using my Bluetooth headset to stream, because that is a different audio output, and we'll have to change it. Let's remember that, everybody.
Oh, that took like 5 minutes, but it felt like an eternity.
Thank you, Crothers.
We're so sorry. Thank you, Crothers.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Great.
We're making a game.
Professional. Ugh. I realize I chose to stream the mathsiest thing in this whole project as well, which means that it's just me going, logic.
Yeah, Sparks told me earlier on that he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stream the game. You know, feel free to hang out in voice if you want. And then I started watching the stream. I was like, I will have nothing to add to this, so this is either going to be funny or not. I make pictures and sometimes sounds.
I'd have put that the other way around.
Yeah, to be fair, these days I tend to be more of a writer than anything else.
That's true.
You know, for the dense plot that we're putting into this game.
So,
what's their motivation? Why do they? You want to know that, didn't you? Anyway, yes. So, how is it going? Like, what have we got so far?
we're trying to work out at what point two roads intersect at the moment.
Okay.
Have you got the stream chat open, by the way?
Sorry?
Have you got the stream chat open, or do you want me to read things that people say to you?
Hello.
Zachloud says, hey, Schnoodles.
Hi, everybody.
You're worth the effort.
I'm worth the effort. Thank you. Okay, yes. I guess if anybody has any questions about, you know, the assets, I can answer them while I'm here.
Earlier, Zachloading
Noodles
was suggesting that we use different colours for the roads depending on the road's status.
No!
And I said, Noodles is the one who wants the two-colour scheme. You'll have to convince him.
No! One bit. It's so much easier, and it looks cool. I think Sparks said he wasn't married to it, but I'm married to it, and that makes this one-bit colour scheme Sparks' brother-in-law or whatever.
You have to admit, though, in debug mode, that the line being red when it's not allowed looks friggin' amazing, because the red is just like, oh, the colour against all the black and white.
And if we wanted to make something with the same colour schemes as like a Linkin Park music video, then by all means we can discuss that. But one bit.
Blue wants to know how the roads are stored. They are stored as an array of objects, and each object looks like this. So they are
stored as a
they have a from property with two values for the x and y, and a to value for the x and y of the end of the road. They have an ID, which is just an incrementing number, and they have a direction, which is either 0 for horizontal and 1 for vertical.
They are stored as a concrete.
Apparently, we have no
gravel and asphalt aggregate mixture in various municipal storage depots, and then when they decide they need a road, they take those out, and they have several groups of people over periods of days deploy them. That's how roads are stored.
And apparently we broke something, because now the direction of all the roads is 0, regardless of whether they're going horizontally or vertically. What did we break?
That's bad, I assume.
We want to know if they are horizontal or vertical. What did I break?
Have you told Noodles about the ragged road idea I had? No, he hasn't, Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about this idea.
So we were talking about roads potentially being able to like handle more or less traffic, right? So you can have So he was suggesting that we add like little dents in the edges of the road line, so that like for a regular, like a path, you draw a path first, and that's just like got little pixels taken out the sides, because it's 3 pixels wide, so you can always have an unbroken line down the middle, and that kind of shows it as like a path, and then you can turn it into a solid road, which can carry more people, maybe.
Once more.
So first you draw a path, and we signify a path by having little like chunks cut out of the road, like on the edges, so it's more raggedy.
So it's varying different levels of road quality.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I had a similar thought. I didn't pitch it for 2 reasons. One, this is a game jam and we're busy people, and I didn't want to add an extra level of complication. It's kind of like a hey, if we get this done a lot quicker than we expected, then maybe we'll look into it. But also, the 1-bit art style, and one of the fun challenges with the 1-bit art style is making everything readable. And if there are pixels missing from a 3 wide road, and we are having black pixels run down the center of it to signify NPCs, then my thought would be that may be confusing to some users, because you've got black pixels on the edges of the road that make it look like a path, and then also moving black pixels down the center, and it could get confusing as to maybe you don't know if these black pixel NPCs are like leaving the road on the sides or whatever, until you've upgraded a road or something like that, because you can't see it. Basically, this is why I didn't join the stream earlier. I'm still waking up. I've been ill the last few days. You'll have to forgive me. But basically, it's a readability thing at its core. It is a readability thing, and I think it would be a lot harder to read if there are other black pixels, even if they're static. Like, logically speaking, you would look at the moving black pixels and go, oh, okay, they're NPCs, and the black pixels that aren't moving probably aren't. But if you have to make your player step outside of the game they're playing and sort of have to debug something themselves, it's not necessarily a failure of design. Because that could be used as a mechanic in some ways. There are ways that could be made to work, and B, I don't class myself as good enough of a game designer to call anything a failure. But yeah, at its base, yes, I like the idea, and I have been trying to think of ways that we could do road upgrades, but doing that makes it, I would say, unreadable. In a prohibitive enough sense that I didn't want to pursue it. There you go. It is my hope that one day, Sparks and I, we've become well-known, world-renowned game developers, and anybody who wishes to interview us for a high-profile magazine or news outlet goes back and watches these streams that we do and go, Noodles cannot speak. We won't bother interviewing him. And then they'll leave me alone.
That's a novel idea, ZachLoud. She says,
Writes a whole novel jam, writes a novel with one single sentence. That's me doing NaNoWriMo. Is what that is.
That's Noodles just talking. It goes on and on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to
I
go...
don't babble this much in real life.
While you babble, I'm going to go top up my coffee. Hang on.
It's 75% babbled. Oh god, he's left me alone. Oh no. Look at that code. Some good code, eh? I also am drinking coffee. Well, how is it? Is he back?
It's really weird having three... Yes, I'm back. It's really weird having three audio channels in OBS now.
It's been so long since I've streamed or recorded a video or anything like that when you were like, oh yeah, cool, I'm just gonna nip off. I just what? How did I used to do this? Dearie me.
Right.
Okay.
So the X is I'm just trying to think here. Math.min either from 0.
Well, ZachLoud, it is my thought that black pixels against black pixels are difficult to see. There you go. Does anybody else want an over-engineered question answered? Answer to a question? I'm so tired.
Width, height is 1, and width is... Oh god, what did I just do? I opened the terminal. Is math.abs. which is like my favorite thing ever. Well, it's not. I think modulus is my favorite thing ever. R dot from.
I guess as a converse point to the road readability, like making the roads like 6 pixels wide, which I think we've discussed. Like upgrading the roads, so instead of they start as 1 pixel with some fraying, they're like maybe 6 pixels wide, and then you can have NPCs going in 2 directions, maybe. But again, we're straying into if we have the time kind of thing, because the easier way to make it so a road never reaches capacity is to just put a cap on the amount of NPCs that can use any single road, and then be like, cool, if you want a more efficient route, you're just gonna have to make a second road next to it. And then if we get time, if you draw a second road next to it, maybe we can double the width, but it's a game jam, and we have other things on.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw some roads.
Ooh. Oh, the snapping's nice. Excellent.
Yes, so we have 2 intersects now. Is it logging them at all? Cannot read property of undefined. Line at clean roads. On mouse up.
Blue grayscale NPC is not an option. Again, good idea, but I really wanted to do a 1-bit art style. As a Noodles wouldn't cheat on his wife. I wanted to do the 1-bit art style as a stylistic challenge, and as a just general game design challenge. Like, we're having to solve problems in an interesting way, based off of this, which I'm finding fun.
Apparently, none of these roads are touching. So,
well, that's incorrect. When the road snaps to the point beneath a building, I've just realised they're looking weird because it's a 4-pixel block attached to a 3-pixel road.
A 4-pixel block?
Yeah, so if you attach a road to like the node underneath the house or something, and then attach that to another road. Oh, okay.
There's a weird offset at the moment. It's interesting because the canvas, these are pixels. This is 1 pixel on the canvas,
Right.
and yet there's still this little notch.
Right, okay, so it's not what I thought it was.
For some reason, the coordinates are like, you can see that the mouse isn't directly on a pixel. So like 53.8 right now, 55.4. I tried rounding the mouse coordinate, and it didn't fix it, which was weird. Let me try it again, and we'll see what happens. Where is the mouse handling? On mouse, handle mouse move. So if I round this,
could it be the anti-aliasing? Maybe because you've got
that's
some.
off.
Is it off? Okay.
I specifically get up here, like if you wait, where is it? Here.
Because
Image smoothing
weird,
enabled is false. If you set this to true, the game looks like this when you make the game bigger than an actual pixel per pixel.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not going to look fantastic.
Unexpected token bracket. My rounding is broken.
Yeah, well, because it's the there's like a weird softness around the roads, and I'm trying to work out why that could be, and maybe that's part of that problem.
Here's how it looks with anti-aliasing.
All soft and fuzzy.
But right, so let me.
The offset's still there though, so.
Yeah, exactly. So let me just turn those off again.
So it isn't that. come.
But yeah, so we're rounding the coordinate, which means like these numbers are now whole numbers.
Yep.
And yet, when we draw this, it still has this little notch in it. And I don't know why.
Would a really awful fix be to like, because to like align them to like half numbers then, like 15 and a half, 120 and a half?
Let's just check the buildings are whole numbers. Yeah, so the X is whole.
16, but they take up 16 by 16 spaces.
Yeah, the pixels. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that building just happens to be at 1616. That is its top left coordinate. So right here. Well, I guess there, because the smoke counts as part of the texture. So yeah, but the node X and Z are X and Y are offsets of that coordinate.
Right.
But they're whole numbers, so that's a whole number.
Like regardless of the texture size, they'd be able to find it because that's why that exists, isn't it? So.
Blue, I could floor, but floor always rounds down. Round will actually round it like down if it's less than 0.5 and over if it's greater than or equal 0.5. Why would I floor? I could floor. I don't think it'll fix it though, because I'm still getting whole numbers.
It could be flawed.
Math.floor.
Okay.
Yeah, you still get that little notch, and I don't know why. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but when you click, I have the node points like grow bigger, so they kind of catch the eye as like this is a thing you can connect to.
You know what else would work? Just have the ends of each road extend by a pixel on the on the length axis to just eat that pixel that is offset, so you can't see it anymore.
Okay,
I call this method sweep the offset under the rug, under the road. Pave over it. Literally just pave over the problem.
So the reason that none of the roads are in brackets intersecting is because all of them have a direction of 0, which is really weird because we are literally hard code setting the direction to 1 right here.
Right. So just so I understand.
I know what it is. It's the stupid problem that you do. I'm not doing it. It's the single equals error. This isn't checking whether it is 0, it's setting it to 0, which is like, that happens sometimes.
Excellent.
That's why it's all zeros.
Excellent.
Always has been.
So it should work now in theory. That is a red box.
Yeah, that's I'm tidying up a road that doesn't exist. We got bifurcate round once to tell us that the roads are not touching. Interesting. It didn't run 4 times like the number of roads there are, it ran once. Blue says, why are you storing the direction just so you don't have to recompute it? Yeah, pretty much. Like, we don't have a space limitation here. We might as well store some properties about the road.
It's a game jam. It's going to be inefficient. Why optimize? We have stuff to do.
Why? So, if the road's direction is opposite to the direction of the road that we are checking, so the road we just drew...
Roadinger. Boo!
A Roadinger?
Boo.
Oh no. So none of the roads it's comparing are touching. So either my is touching properties are wrong, or the roads... If I draw another road, now it's doing 2 not touching checks.
So it's not doing the check if they are touching. which I guess.
So currently it's only checking horizontal roads. Hang on, let's so here, horizontal road, so this road and this road.
Yes.
And it's only checking the road that we just drew. So I guess the first road we drew, there's one horizontal road, so it checks this one. But
I'm nodding intently.
when that is drawn, it hasn't added this road yet. So there are 0 roads to compare against, so it just doesn't do anything. When we draw this road, it's only checking horizontal roads, so this road is drawn. This road is not drawn yet, so it compares this road and the only other vertical road, which is this one, which is why we get the 1 not touching. So it is checking all the roads of the opposite size, but it's the is touching is not true. So the X is, so we're checking this road. The X of the other road is this road's from X. Because we don't have to check the 2x because these two x's are the same. The y is different. And the y is the smaller of that road's from or that road's to. So that will be this point here.
Okay.
And the height is this this number minus this number. Roads I dot from 0. Oh, this should be the y. I realized that to Noodles it looked like I just said y and then wrote 1 instead of y.
Oh, I can't read a thing. Your screen is far too wide to fit onto my screen with a screen share.
Is there a reason why you're not watching the stream muted? Oh, because of delay.
Yeah, like I will be able to see what you did in approximately 10 seconds.
If you want, I can share just the code, but then you can't see the
Yeah, then I won't be able to see the game.
the game. Yeah, yeah. This is something I didn't really think about when I got this super wide monitor.
Yes, indeed.
I guess when streaming, I could
the
like.
other option is I now have to get an ultra.
Yeah, or because I can change like the output settings of the monitor, right? So maybe I can just change my entire monitor setup to be like a normal width when I stream or something.
Maybe.
So this is now correct. It's measuring the height based on the y, not the x. And the width of the road is 1 because it's a line. The width is probably 0, but I think if I set it to 0, it would never count as touching.
Live share, open a port for Noodles to load the game from. Those are words. I understood Noodles and game. And share.
I have a local port showing this game right now. Maybe there's a way to give him access to this, like as a remote port.
I think that's necessary.
Yes.
For what we're doing here.
No. This is a 3-week project, but maybe yeah. And then the second property is the road that we are currently looking at, which is this road here.
Yes.
So the x is the smaller of the from or the 2x. That's this point here. The y is the y, because that's the same for the entire length of the road because it's running horizontally. The height is 1 because it is 1 high because it's a line. And the width is the 2x's as an absolute. So that I think that's fixed now.
Okay.
Let's
Everyone
try
cross your
again.
fingers?
So we have this. Bugger, it still counts as not touching. Why?
Dang it. This is what happens when you ask people to cross their fingers on a 10-second delay. It'll work next time.
Did I save? I did not save. That'll be what it was.
We're professionals. We are smart people.
Yes, roads 3 and 2 are touching.
Excellent.
Okay, so now that we know they're touching, we can find out the point where they're touching by just going.
Do the other complicated bit, and by we I mean you. I'm just here for clout.
Right, it was somebody put a great comment in the chat earlier that explains how to work out the touching. It's like the x of one minus the y of the other or something.
It's a Confucian proverb.
So the intersection is road 1's x and the new road's y. Intersection equals road x, comma, new road y. That's not a maths function. That's just two values, Lee Spork. Do I need to divide them? Oh, I see. Right, no, duh. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, Lee Spork. So the intersect point is the x of this line and the y of this line is this. So
Yes. Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. So intersect point. This should be a console log. Intersect point. Why did it add an extra speech mark there? That was annoying. I'm not very keen on autocomplete brackets and speech marks, to be honest. Let me scroll back down.
I am, because I forget to put them in.
No, I don't like it because it adds them when I don't want them in there. Intersect point.
The difference here, Sparks, is that I'm not a very good programmer.
So roads roads I is the vertical road. So it's x plus the currently drawn road, which is horizontal's y. Let's have a look at that.
Hope everyone's fingers are still crossed.
Undefined and undefined.
Damn it, who uncrossed their fingers?
Roads? Oh, duh. It's
Better you, Crothers. It's the first name I saw.
x y. 101.46.
Oh.
101.46. That's right here. It probably looks offset because we used math.floor like Blue asked us to do. Let's draw a dot at that coordinate.
Damn it, Jerry, letting the side down.
It was me, sorry. Oh, I thought it was Blue asking for floor.
You're just saying things now.
Me?
This is what it sounds like when I try and explain artistic concepts.
When you round a number, if it's less than 0.5, you round down, and if it's 0.5 or higher, you round up. Floor is just you always round down. So 5.9 will floor to 5.
Flying Crothers.
And I think there's also a ceiling, where it always rounds up. So 5.1 will round up to 6. Crothers, if you can't type with crossed fingers, then I'm sorry, you're just not part of the club.
Very true. Especially as a programmer, your fingers are crossed constantly.
Anyway, so we have the intersect point. Now that we have that, which took, along with all of the audio issues, we are 1 hour 40 minutes into this stream, and we managed to find the intersect point of two lines. We have to split both roads into, we have to split 2 roads into 4 roads now. So
surely just whatever you're using to generate the original road at the point you've just worked out how to generate roads on
Yeah.
the axis in the direction from that point. Yes?
So, yeah, pretty much. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new road, roads.push. Wait, is that correct? Roads. Yeah, roads.push, and then the new road object. So the first road we're going to do is, if we just look at this as an example, like this, the first road is going to be the horizontal one. So we take the existing roads. I need to make a note because I keep forgetting while we do this. Roads I is equal to vertical. R is equal to horizontal.
This is a bad time to point out that if we'd done this in Godot, we could have just used their collision system, and this would have been done like 5 days ago.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, good. I tried to keep it to JavaScript because the make game engine had a JavaScript as an option. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Console. Okay, so we are creating a new road, and this is the horizontal road. So that's R. So the so we have properties of from, which is an array. So the X of this road is the horizontal road's lowest point. R dot from 0 or R dot to 0. So that's going to take the lowest X coordinate, which is here, of this road. That's the start of our new road, because we're doing this road here.
Yes.
So that's the from X, and then the Y is just the Y of the road. R dot from Y.
Sure. Why not?
And then the 2 is this point, which was the intersect we just calculated.
Oh.
So that's this. That we just calculated, like so. So that's our from and our to. Is that all the... Oh, and then the direction is horizontal, so it's 0. Yeah, horizontal is 0. Then we create another road, which is this road here. So that's kind of the opposite. So the from becomes this value that we just calculated before. That's an object. Let's make it an object. From is this point, and 2 is the max width, the old line. So 2's x is r math.max r dot from x r dot to x, and the y is just the y of that road, same as this one. And the direction is also 0 because that's our other horizontal road. And now we do the same thing for the vertical ones. And then we have to delete the original roads. Actually, we could... instead of creating 4 roads and deleting 2, we could edit one of the existing roads to make it shorter.
Yeah.
But then we have to find. But we've already found the road because we've already selected it. I don't know which one to. It doesn't really matter. We've written all this code. I'm not changing it now.
Not that this isn't exciting, but to add some threat and in Act 2 of this stream, there is a giant spider in my room that I will now attempt to get rid of while Sparks codes.
Are we going to hear like distant crashing and clattering, and then like a bass guitar will twang?
Very funny.
And then in the true tradition of any kind of audio based thing, the last thing you'll hear after the silence is just a single like cymbal or like disc. Or you know the disc. You know it goes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do this for us.
Sparks is like, road mean is the root squared of 7 on the Y or whatever. I'm just like, fuck you, spider! Be gone! Heathen! Down some water, it's very heroic. Next up I shall use the cup, which I think is too small to fit the spider in. One of those spiders with really long legs and a tiny body. Normally I think people wouldn't mind amputating a spider to get it out, but my vegan sensibilities are kicking in and I don't want to hurt it if I don't have to. So, what we'll do is we need to work out the point at which the spider intersects with the ceiling.
Oh, Zacloud asks for a stock cat yowl as well. That's a good point.
Okay, success. Now, I'm an idiot and didn't open a window beforehand.
Oh god, yeah, I've run into that problem before.
Okay. Well, my windows are on latches. You kind of need 2 to open it. Oh god.
I was at Raz's house, Prof and Raz's house yesterday, and there was suddenly a spider on the floor, and the cat killed it, and then the spider vanished, and the cat was licking its lips, and we were like, oh no, it ate the spider! And then I found the spider around the corner, and it was missing some legs that were just like nearby, and it was disgusting, but the cat hadn't eaten them. And honestly, I think Raz would have rather if the cat had eaten the spider, because then she wouldn't have to clean it up. But yeah.
Where's that? Yes. Good news, everyone.
Good news. Good. Was it a house spider? Was it like a large one?
It was a small body, big legs.
Okay, right. Because some spiders, if you kick them out, they just die or find their way back into the house because they're house spiders.
Yeah, it's welcome to find its way back into the house. It's not my room.
This is true.
Big enough for two entities.
You got a sister. What are they for? Just put it in your sister's room. It'll be happy there. She'll appreciate the lack of flies.
Then you look around and the spider's gone and my sister's licking her lips and you're like, oh no. I'm going to be back in a minute.
So this road goes from the smallest y coordinate of the line, which is here, to the intersect point, and then it goes from the intersect point Spiders can regrow lost legs? Are you sure about that? Like, I know that, like, worms can, like, turn into 2 worms, and starfish can regrow legs. I didn't know spiders could. They do live quite a lot longer than flies, though. They live for a couple of years, so maybe they have time to regrow a leg. We need to get this bottom point here now, which is the x is just... Oh, have I done this wrong? Because the x... Yeah, I've put the x second here by accident. Oh, I'm gonna make so many mistakes. The x of the vertical road is just the x. Then the y is the min. And then for this road, it's the x is just the x. And the y is the larger of those two coordinates. Like that. So now we have 4 new roads, and then we just have to delete the original roads. So that's done with roads.split or splice. The start coordinate, we need to delete the newest road is R. If I do this wrong, we'll see roads like disappear as we draw new roads and stuff. So that's the length of... So we start at -1. I think you can do this to remove the last element in an array. Start at -1 and we delete 1 entry, and then the other road is at position I, and we delete 1. Let's see what happens when we run this. We get an error. Invalid shorthand property. Oh boy. Somewhere in here we have a syntax error on the first horizontal road. From bracket to bracket. Oh, I put in equals, not a colon. That's what it is. I even did it correct on the second two. Oh, each time they shed, we're getting some spider facts here from Zach Loud. Each time they shed, the legs start coming back. Really short, then at each shed, the legs get longer and longer until their normal length again. That's really interesting, I didn't know that. Next time you see spiders, if you pay attention, you eventually might see one with an abnormally short leg. That's part of the process. Huh. Some spiders can live for quite a long time, can't they? They can last a couple of years. Some of them can even go quite a long time without eating. They just kind of hibernate and wait for food to show up because they're ambush predators. Isn't the last road in the array just the ones that you're right? I have to delete the last one before I add the new ones. But if I delete it, then these reference objects don't exist anymore. So I have to either delete the 5th most recent road or stop doing roads. Oh no, because R, I already do that, don't I? R is a copy of that object. So I should probably delete R before. But this one has to wait until we're done to be deleted. This should be okay. Draw a road. Draw another road. Oh, I think we got an error as well, yeah. Cannot read property from of undefined. Probably because we deleted it, right? Maybe R... JavaScript does this thing where if you do like R equals roads I, it doesn't make like a copy of roads I and stick it into R. R becomes like a reference to roads I. So R is the same as typing roads I, and therefore if you if you then do like r.from equals foo, roads I also becomes foo. So, damn.
I'm back. Game done yet?
Not quite. No, we tried bifurcating and it didn't quite work. I think I know why though. So we're gonna have to do this afterwards. So we want to delete. We've just added 4 roads, and we want to delete the last road in the list, minus those. So -1. So is it -5?
Sure.
Crothers,
Get it right. Smart.
Crothers points out you can do clone. Isn't .clone like a jQuery thing though? Zachlad has been informing us about spiders and their ability to regrow legs.
Which, in fairness, I didn't know. It makes me feel a lot less bad about amputating a spider's leg the other day.
Probably takes them a little while. -5 I think is correct, because -1 was the last entry, and we've just added 4 new things, so the -5 is probably right. Let's find out what happens.
Yeah.
We've still got this bloody error from the beginning that I haven't fixed yet. Wait, what? Why are the lines still thin when I let go? Have I?
Interesting.
Wait.
The animations.
Have I?
Again, crap.
I think I've actually just crashed my browser. I think we just accidentally entered some kind of infinite loop. Oh dear.
Marvelous.
I may have to just go live again.
Visual Studio does this incredible thing where I can just save and it updates, unless I biff it.
I think
nothing.
after deleting this, something is causing it to like
Infinite loop.
crash. It might be because it's looping through every object and we delete an object. I've done that before and it didn't like get confused.
Didn't you do that this week on untitled, unreleased game for work, and had to delete an entire chunk?
No, that was infinite object creation. Did it error or did it just full on crash? I don't think I saw an error appear in the console.
It looks like I just lost it.
Right, hang on.
Gave up entirely.
Let me search how to make a copy of an object. JS copy object. Let copy equals object.
Did you finish creating the roads before you deleted it? Maybe. Also, Sander says yo, and I say yo in response.
Hey Sander. Did you finish creating the roads before you deleted it? Well,
What? Oh right, I get it.
I mean, yes. We create these 4 roads, and then we wouldn't be having this problem if I just changed the original road's width and height. We could still do that to fix this problem, potentially.
I mean, if it's easier. Well, that sounds like IKEA delivery. So
Ooh.
I will return shortly.
Fancy. I'm assuming that's why it crashed. We're not entirely. I'm not quite sure why it crashed. See, this is not what we want. This creates a copy of the object, but changing one will change the other. Object.a equals. Yeah, this is the opposite of what we want. Oh, you have to loop through every property in the object to make a copy of it. I remember that. That's really annoying. Let's just change the width of the old road instead. So we will create new roads, horizontal and vertical. So these are the higher coordinates here, and then we will shorten the original road, and we have to create the new roads first. It's while the reference coordinates are still correct, and then we update old roads. Like this. So instead of pushing, we're just going to do roads I equals, no, R equals, and then for the vertical, I have to get rid of this bracket. Roads I equals. So we're just reassigning the entire property. See if that works, I guess. Got our first road, our second road. It didn't crash. And there's a node point here. Yes! Awesome. It hasn't put it here. My theory is that if I draw a new road over here, we will see this node added, because currently nope, it didn't. Okay, so it's not working if the newly drawn line is vertical, probably because of this check here. We have to like copy this code to deal with a different property. Something else I want to check, right, is what happens if we intersect two roads at once. So if I do this, do we get two new nodes? No, we only got the one. So it actually failed to notice the second one. Interesting. We're kind of getting there, but it doesn't support everything yet.
It was IKEA.
Hooray!
Welcome to round 2 of Noodles does other stuff in the background.
Oh yeah, this is an example of some more cleanup we need to do, by the way. You just saw me draw this road and then this road. We have a node here that is useless. Like, we need to write some cleanup code that goes, these roads touch and share the same height, so we should just turn these two roads into a single road and get rid of this useless node.
You've got math that does intersect point finding now, haven't you? So just if intersect, delete node.
You just missed it. We just did this. So the intersect now works, but if you draw this, it only does an intersect for the first point and it misses the second one. So we're getting there, but it's not quite done yet.
Yes.
Tidy road undefined.
What?
It's doing the road tidying after the bifurcating. You can see first it bifurcates, so it's splitting any roads required. Then it does that again for the vertical road, but then when it gets to clean roads, that's interesting that it's giving me undefined now.
We're gonna get the actual clattering.
Oh, I know what it is.
We craved earlier.
We're not giving our new roads an ID.
We should probably do that.
Which I believe is a self-incrementing number. Called road ID. So you increment, then set. Okay, so down here we're going to do...
A lot more meta on this than I thought I was going to be.
What did you order?
Okay, hi everyone watching the stream. I'm about to reference something that you have no context for. Do you remember that white pegboard that we saw in
Yes.
Stockholm in the IKEA? I got that. It is the Skådis, if anybody is that interested.
Yeah, it's like a wall, a metal wall with little holes in it that you can clip to the back of your desk. So if you're in a situation where you can't like drill holes in the wall, the pegboard sits behind your desk or leans against a wall, and then you can like just clip things into the little holes. You can put like hooks and things. Hooks. So you can add shelves and pictures and anything really.
I'm going through a big office redesign at the moment, and this is part of it.
Blue just said I should define a function that just increments the ID, and I've just realised you can probably do this. I think you can do road ID++. Let's try it. Where it sets the ID, then adds one. Or you can even do, I think you can do this. Let's just have a quick look here. Road ID is currently 24. So if I do ++ road ID, returns 25. If I do road ID ++, it should return 25, but next time we call road ID, it should be 26. Awesome. Yeah, that's way better. ID ++ road ID. I forgot you could do that. And then this ID needs to be r.id, so it keeps its original ID. ID roads i.id. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this and this and just do this. So cleanup shouldn't be giving us undefined anymore, or the tidying shouldn't give us undefined roads. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. We probably should have done that from the start. So, by the way, the error is when it's tidying the roads, it tries to compare the length of one road, but there aren't any other roads. For the very first road it draws, which causes this error. So, clean roads, we need to do some kind of like if roads.length is greater than 1 or something. If roads.length is greater than 1. That should fix the error. It did not. If roads.length is greater than 2. Cheap solution, just have a road that exists at the start of the game. That is not a bad like fix, to be honest. Oh, that did fix it. Okay. Great. And yeah, we have intersects being built. It's not perfect, but like it's getting there. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. I can get rid of all of this now that identical checking is definitely working. We still need to bifurcate if the road is vertical, which is probably just... See, this is very messy, but we're going to have to do... Oh, we should figure out why it's not bifurcating twice before we copy this code that doesn't quite work. Because it skips the second one and only creates a node here. I wonder why that is. Roads 5 and 2 are touching. You know what's interesting? I've just noticed this text is not constrained to the pixel size of the game. Because that's definitely smoother than a pixel. I have a scale value, so we can choose how big it is on your screen. Currently 5. If I set it to 1... Interesting. See that? Maybe there's some anti-aliasing going on or something there, because that... this is the actual pixel for pixel. What's Noodles shouting?
Hold it! I don't know. I said anti-aliasing earlier. I'm kind of hoping that I'm right.
Not
So what are we referring?
really. That's not why I don't know. I just don't know. Lee Spork says you need to bifurcate roads created by bifurcation. That actually might fix it, or it's gonna crash the game again. We will see. But yes, that's actually might be what the problem is, because it checks this road, but then it splits the road, so this is now a new road, so it actually doesn't include it in the bifurcation. Create new roads, update old roads, and then I guess we just run bifurcate again, and it'll keep running bifurcate until there are no new splits. Can we do this here? I think because we have to pass it the road ID.
Sounds like it works. So better than nothing. How is this supposed to work?
Let's create the roads before we... Oh, but if we do the bifurcate here, then the old roads... Okay, you know what? Actually, I think we're fine. Bifurcate, because the old roads keep their original position in the array. So it's still the 2 newest roads. So bifurcate roads. Can you do -1 instead of roads.length -1? I'm just curious now, because that's not something I would normally do. Roads -1. Undefined. Okay, yeah, you have to do roads.length -1. Roads.length -1. And then we also bifurcate roads -2. So that's the 2 newest roads are also checked now. You could also use road ID and road ID -1. That's true.
Spark's doing complicated stuff while I yell things in the background is actually a really good summary of what our work relationship is like.
I think if I did road ID... Oh god, yeah, because if it... Let's just see what happens with this for a second, I guess. Did I save? I did save. Let's turn debug on. Oh god, I crashed it again.
Oh no. God damn it.
Yeah, that crashed it for some reason.
Make your screw heads out of metal, IKEA. Cowards. Well, I'm trying to get this screw through a hole that is way too tightly threaded, and I'm mangling the top of the. And yes, there is a school of thought that suggests that maybe I should read the manual, or whatever. But like, these are the only screws and these are the only holes, so I'm pretty confident. See, now I've shoved it through, it's fine.
Lots to process there. Firstly, this stream has everything, huh? Like IKEA furniture, settings debugging for audio devices, coding, confusion, spider facts.
This is great.
Secondly,
This is the culmination of... This is art, is what this is.
Hello to the person with the name I cannot pronounce.
I'm going to guess Chinese unless it's Japanese and you're using all kanji, but hello.
Hello, welcome. And Lee Spork is asking why I'm using the length of the road. I'm not. Roads is an array of objects, so it's the number of roads we have. And then Blue is saying you're missing an escape condition. I guess, should we store the number of roads before bifurcate happens? And if the new number of roads is greater than the old number of roads, we run it again? I'm not quite sure, why it's crashing. Like, clearly it's getting stuck in this for loop, but... But why? Also, I'm just going to comment these out again. I've just realized, our system should have the same problem that the old one did, the one we copied before, because two roads that are touching should... How many bifurcate messages are we getting? No, we only get the one. So if they share a single point where this road and this road touch, our isTouching function apparently doesn't count that as touching, which is what we want. But how touching? Blue points out that this is very bad for performance. Yes, it is. It's crashing.
Who cares about performance?
Zycloud says, this stream's variety sounds like all the subjects I had to take to get my art degree. What colours would you like? We've got blue, green, spiders. Spiders? Spiders it is. No, I meant, but it was too late. She was already handing her a brush brimming with spiders. Yeah, I'm not sure why it hangs. I think Lee Spork's comment about having to bifurcate roads that were just bifurcated makes sense. That's why the second road is being missed. But it seems to be trying to bifurcate infinitely. So we need some kind of... I'm just not sure why it's hanging. Is I like... Because this is going until I is the length of the roads. So maybe because we keep adding roads, I is never reached. Because I just keeps getting bigger. I would go... Blue says, I would go with the buffer solution or really rework bifurcate to be more efficient so you don't loop through roads n times. Blue, do you want to hop into voice with us? Explain to me what you want from me. Once this bifurcate system is working, we can actually start adding NPCs. Although I think I'm going to end the stream before then because I'm hungry and I haven't had anything to eat yet. I'm just subsiding off coffee.
Relatable. This feels like breakfast television now, is what this is.
Breakfast television.
Special
guest.
Welcome to GMTV. We have Sparks and Noodles. Sparks, what I would like you to do is bifurcate these roads whilst Noodles assembles flat pack furniture. Tell us about your new game.
Oh dear. Zach Loud says, will roads always be a grid pattern? Would it be easier to just have it generate squares? I was considering that, but the thing is that like the roads, you can put roads like really close to each other like this, which is a bit of a smaller grid than like the buildings, which are 16 wide. And I think if we had like a 16 wide grid, and every grid only had the option for like the different rotations of road, like a tile, it would be harder to fit enough roads in maybe to support the game. I don't know. Because we already have very little space because the size of this screen is so tiny. Maybe... All of these road coordinates are whole numbers now. And yet, they're still not lining up with the with the dot down there. I don't understand why. Maybe it's because our scale is an odd number. Although, I don't even know if that makes sense. What if I set the scale to 4?
We're having the Minecraft problem where you really need to decide
Nope.
whether or not you're building odds or evens.
No, it's still offset when I set it to an even number. I guess I have to add blue to this chat? Or like, I have to create a new chat with Noodles and Blue. I'm probably gonna have to stop streaming briefly to do that. I can't just drag him in, because that would be sensible.
No, we are going to have to end this call and then start a new one because this one is perfect now. Does this go?
Oh, it seemed to work.
Okay. Just go in the back then.
Hello, Blue.
Hello,
Welcome to what did you call it? GM Talk?
GMTV,
GMTV, yeah.
which is the UK's Good Morning Television.
Well, it is kind of morning television. It's Sunday, so
Yeah,
I guess 1 p.m. is morning.
This is light viewing.
yeah. I did say holy shit at some point though, so just to make sure that YouTube knows that we're not for kids.
It's fine.
Oh, good. Yeah, so the issue with your bifurcate method right now, function right now, is imagine you start calling the function on the double intersected road you had earlier. So you loop through the roads array, and then you create new roads. And once you've created new roads, you're calling this function again on the new roads.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you're looping through the roads array again, and you see where this is going. So I don't exactly know why it crashes actually, but I know what you're doing right now is really, really inefficient, because for every bifurcate call, you loop through the roads array again and again and again, and that leads to a big O of like n to the power of n, which is horrible.
So bifurcate takes a road to know which road it is checking against all the other roads. What if we only checked roads that were like ahead of that road in the array, if that makes sense? Like, what if we only check for roads that are newer than the road we're currently checking? Oh no, that wouldn't. That might not work because I think R is always the newest road. Or R is the newest road except right here in this case.
Let me think about this for a second. I think, to be honest, buffering solution would be best, where you don't implement the new roads. You just store them in an array, and you only implement them once you've determined all the intersections. And then you delete the old road. I think that would be best for performance, actually.
Okay, so you're saying that we check this road for all intersections before we split it.
Yeah, so, well, you generate the new roads, but you don't store them into the roads array. Instead, you store them into something like roads temporary or something.
Yeah.
And then you accumulate the new roads in there. Then you merge that array with... Then you delete the old road out of the roads array and merge the new array into the roads array. that would save you like a ton of going through all roads.
We would have to, like, my split function, like this here, create new roads, we'd have to do this by the number of intersects plus 1. So we'd have to find a way of, like, looping through that.
What does your split function take as a parameter?
The split function, it doesn't, there's no function. It creates a new road that leaves off from the old road, and then it shortens the original road to the split point.
I see.
So in oh god, in this case, this is the whole road. It creates a new road that goes along here, and then the original road, which is this entire length, it just shortens it to here. But if we have a situation where my Control-Z doesn't work anymore either, I noticed. In this situation, we have 2 intersection points, so now we have to split the road into 3, not 2.
Yeah, so I guess you have to go through each pixel of the road you're checking, right?
Sorry?
You'd have to go through each pixel of the road you just created, so when you create a new road, you'd have to go, if it's horizontal, you'd have to go through each x-coordinate of the road and check whether there's an intersection there.
We have to run bifurcate for every single road to create an array of intersects. And then we have, so in this case we would get an array of 2 intersects, these 2 points here. And then we would have to shorten the original road to the smallest of the 2 intersection points, and then create n new roads.
There must be a smarter way of doing this.
Lee Spork says just keep bifurcating even after we find the first intersection. We already do that. I'm pretty sure. It's probably not too hard, because we already... No, yeah, we'd have to sort... Like, bifurcate will already easily give us an array of intersects. We just don't do any splitting until we reach the end of the function check. And then the original road is just shortened to the smallest intersect coordinate. And then the new roads is just like, if these are points 0, if this is intersect point, so let's say point 0, 1, 2, 3. Road ID 0, 1, 2. So we would just say road 0 is points 0 to 1. Road 1 is points 1 to 2. Road 2 is points 2 to 3. So it's just road is road number plus 1. Or road number 2, road number plus 1. And then we would just keep creating roads until we run out of intersect points. Right?
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have to run bifurcate again because we've already established all of the intersect points of this road. Although, currently bifurcate is running through every single road. So we would have to... We'd have to wait until it loops through that one road.
So currently bifurcate is taking in a road R, right? And it compares it to all other existing roads. Is that correct?
It takes in road R and then it compares it to every other road. Including itself, interestingly, but... Oh, it doesn't count itself because if the direction of the road is 0, it only looks at roads with a direction of 1. Because it can't intersect any road that is parallel to itself. So, I guess what we almost need is like intersects equals meh, and then if it's touching, which is this row here, then we just go intersects dot push x y, and that's these two here. So this will add that to intersects, and then once we're done with this whole loop, with this whole function.
Well, after you.
Oh, I guess no.
Yeah,
It would be after we're done with that particular. Wait, did I just delete something? No. After we're done with that particular road, that's road I. So here? No. Here.
By the way, Noodles, I can understand your struggle. Spock's white screen is really hard to read.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Question mark. So there were no crossing roads, so we got an empty intersects array. We should get an empty one again this time. Yep. Actually, we got two empty ones because it checks two roads, and then this should give us. Wow, a lot. Is this what you were saying about the function like getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah.
So this
can you not to make it too much work here, but can you maybe share that with live share so I can actually see things?
How do I do that with this version?
Just click on share now, and then it should give you a link that you can give me.
I have to sign in?
Using GitHub, yeah.
Flatpak update. In a stunning turn of events, I know, have made this way more complicated than it has to be.
I don't know what I'm doing. Have I just tried to connect to my own share?
I can't read it, but just click OK.
Copy invite link.
Yeah, just send that to me and I should be able to join up, hopefully.
There you go. Have a gander at that, see if it works.
Let's see, open VS Code. Seems like it, yep, that worked, nice.
Right, let's have a look at that.
Oh wow, I can actually, wow, because you're hosting the server locally and LiveShare supports that, I can actually it basically just opened the server on my end as well.
Oh, the game, nice.
Yeah, so that would be an easy way for Noodles to actually play this.
Okay, so it's now printing. It's only printing one intersect. That's interesting. None of these have two. Like, we're definitely intersecting two roads, but we're either printing 1 or 0 coordinates to our intersects. Intersects is running at the very start of the bifurcate function. We should probably actually put it here. So it's like it's not finding the second intersect point. It's not checking past the first road. $98.55.
What do you do?
In fact, this log here, roads X and Y are touching, only prints to the log as well once. Also, I'm going to get rid of the tidying message because it's clogging up the console. Just hear Noodles struggling with furniture in the background.
So complicated. Shit. I'm gonna have to do this again in like a week and a half when I get my new desk.
Gal Horowitz has just told me that he is watching the stream with a 30-minute delay. Is that because you paused it and went away and came back, but don't want to miss anything? Because otherwise you're going to hear this in half an hour. There's no point in me telling you.
Yeah.
But yes, no, we fixed that bug roughly 30 minutes ago, funnily enough.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not checking for each intersection. How does it escape this loop?
Once I becomes the length of the roads array, it will stop.
Ow. I think it's
This roads.length is only evaluated once, isn't it? Or does it keep re-evaluating the length of the roads array?
I don't actually know.
Oh,
I don't know whether roads.length increases as the road's length... I think this line is evaluated freshly every time the line is
I
run.
think so as well.
That would make more sense.
But this wouldn't matter if we did like the buffer solution where we don't create these roads directly but buffer them into a new array.
It would stop roads.length from increasing.
Yeah. Which is very reasonable, because...
But this shouldn't be causing an issue with it only finding the first intersection because both of the roads already existed.
So there must be some reason why this loop here escapes after the first one then, right?
Oh, that's not good. That's a light bulb. Why is that there?
Oh, you know what it is?
Crowther suggests we switch to a while loop instead of a for loop. That would also work.
You know what it is, Sparks? It's because you update the old road.
Yes. Oh, so it no longer intersects on the next check.
It no longer intersects, yeah.
So if we
Can we disable this and
these?
that?
Yeah. That's probably correct. So if I draw these two now,
How do I enable debug mode?
press D, tap D, but it doesn't toggle very nicely. So you might have to try a few times.
Oh, I see.
Because it's only a temporary thing, so I just jacked it in. I'm still only getting one coordinate. And I'm still only getting the one... Oh, wait. Roads 5 and 2 are touching. Roads 5 and 4 are touching. Oh. Yes, you know what? This should go here. Outside of the for loop, and so should this, because we are checking... We're checking one road.
Yeah, and then you get one intersect array for the road.
Yeah,
The
now we're getting two. We're getting two intersect points, and they're being listed in the array. So that's giving us that gives us the intersect points with the coordinates of the intersects. So we could do that, and that is giving us two, and then once we have that information, we can split the road
can
up.
delete the old road and get new roads that go from the old nodes of the old roads to the intersect.
So we can keep that inside this function, we just need it outside of the for loop. So down here where we console log, like right here, that's where we would then go, okay, we shorten the original road to the smallest of the intersect coordinates, and then create new roads from those coordinates until all the roads are created. And then at that point, we're outside of the for loop. So once we're done down here, the function ends. So there won't be any recursion. And we don't have to loop across any new roads because none of the new roads should have intersects.
No, they shouldn't, because otherwise we would have already found the intersects.
Exactly.
Oh, actually, but what if... No, that's fine, yeah, because I was thinking, what if you have a road... So if your vertical roads right now, if they already had an intersection, and then you draw your line, your new road horizontally, but that would be fine, because that existing intersection would already have a node in the center.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so we should be fine then.
Okay. Yeah, that should do it then. So we just... all of this just gets moved out of the for loop down to here.
Yeah, but there's
and then
one
we have
issue
to
still.
loop.
We'll have to work out which intersection goes
Is the smallest.
with the road. Which road?
We have to sort them by smallest to largest.
In ID, you mean?
No, by coordinate.
Oh right,
Because
yeah,
the intersections don't have
coordinates
IDs.
matter.
We have to
Yeah.
if the road we just drew is horizontal, we have to sort them by x coordinate, and if the road we just drew is vertical, we have to sort them by y coordinate. And then the shortest coordinate is the old road's new size, and then the rest are new roads.
Yeah.
They're not guaranteed to automatically be in the correct order because we check in the order that the roads were added to the road list, not from the smallest coordinate to the largest coordinate on the screen. So they could be in the wrong order. So yeah, we'll have to create some kind of sort function, and then finally we create the roads. I think I'm probably going to do that off stream though because I'm hungry, and it's 1:30.
The furniture is assembled.
I guess you've achieved more than we have then.
All right,
I
I
won
will.
the breakfast TV challenge.
Thank you for having me on the show. I will leave the stream then, and
Oh, it's fine. You have the honor of being on the only stream Sparks and I have done where I injured myself.
Are you sure that's true?
No, but ah,
well, now that you've assembled the IKEA furniture, how would you rate the process of building the IKEA furniture? You know, there needs to be some service.
How are we grading this? By pain, or because and I'll leave this up to everybody's imagination. But in affixing something to the top of my desk, I managed to catch my ankle in the sharp corner of my PC case.
Ow.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I refuse to read the manual, so really this is on me. So in general, the IKEA furniture, great job. Somebody has disliked the stream. I can only assume that's as a result of me not assembling the IKEA furniture fast enough.
It's quite possibly that new
I'll-
person we haven't seen before. If they've left, I don't know if it's you, but like they might have popped in with no context at all of what this was.
It's really the worst way
And
to.
just hear Noodles screaming in the background.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like that's fair, and I understand. Good lord. Well, this works. So.
Alright, thanks for having me on the show. I'll
Yeah.
head off then.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to stop it here. I will probably fix the bifurcating stuff off screen, and then I might stream it when I start having the people moving between the different points, because it'll be a separate, interesting challenge, but probably a little bit easier for me.
Alright, good stuff. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Goodbye.